Now, I'm not sure if I can even name that first note that's sitting at the top, but that's essentially what I want to have a whole talk about. But, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you before we get into the notes of this fragrance. Flower Bomb Nectar, and I believe that is like from Victor and Rolf. Their bottles and packaging, especially of their full-size fragrances, I almost thought that I had walked past and I almost thought this display was Vince Camuto's fragrances. So I had to take a second look at the one on the bottom. If you turn it over, their packaging is almost starkly similar to Vince Camuto's perfumes. And I love Vince Camuto's perfumes. They're very nice. I've tried their fragrance mist, so I know their perfumes have to be good. Still not going to recommend the perfumes because I only know the fragrance mist. Let's get that out the way. Does anyone want to explain to me how this perfume has notes of powder? I'm not going to say the full word on here, so I'm getting ready to sound, you could chuckle with me if you like. I didn't know that you could put powder in a perfume as a note. It's powder, accord powder. Okay, why is this a note? What does it smell like? What does powder accord smells like? How do you derive the ingredient? How do you source a powder accord for a note for perfume? Sorry, let me say this properly. How do you source a powder accord for a note? If you don't know what I'm talking, how? Where do you source powder from? Do you see that? Powder accord. I know you wondering to yourself, well, why is she not calling it what it? I don't. YouTube kind of get iffy about that, so I'm not getting ready to say this whole entire word out loud. That's the note that stood out to me when I stood in front of that display of the perfume. After I determined through a second and third look, I'm like, this is not Vince Camuto, but their packaging is very similar. This is Victor and Rolf. I might be butchering their name. This is the Flower Bomb perfume I hear about quite a bit in our community. When I say ow, I mean us, YouTube, the internet's here. What is powder accord? See what I did? See what I did there? You could pause the video. What is she talking about? Powder. What is that? How do you source something like that? How does one determine? This is used for this, for, what's a good adverb? What's a good adjective? This is good for play fighting play fighting for entertainment purposes. But this smells like this would be really good to go in a perfume. How does one determine that? The thing is already shaped like, you could play with a certain item for. Shut up. Do you see the challenges at which I am trying to describe to you? Why is that a note in perfume? How does that smell? How do you source that? And is this okay? How many other fragrances have powder accord in it? Yeah, that's all I know. I got questions. Because what business does powder accord have to do in our perfume? I don't want to walk around and a dog. Can you imagine a service dog? And you got that on with the powder accord. And he smelled it. And it's like he trying to eat you for so. I wonder. Who thought it was a good idea? I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm just saying, where did the idea come from? And why they've been keeping doing it? Because this ain't the first bottle they done it with. When they formulated this, they must have known they were going to mass produce it. How long ago has this perfume been out? See, you see the amount of questions I have? Do you see? I'm not baffled, I'm curious. But if you would like to see more videos like this where I am going over things I see in stores or online, then on either side, there should be a playlist for you all to enjoy. And until next time, love you. When I think about love, it's one of the bravest things that you can do. It is patient, it is kind, it does not envy or boast, and it'll keep you on the coast of not being rude or self-seeking, nor is it easily angered or seething mad, and it keeps no records of wrongs. It has no pleasure in evil, but it rejoices in the truth. And most of all,